Hi, thanks for joining us. I'm Karl Principal Broker with Kline May Realty, and this is Q&A with Kline May. So this week, in a bit of a departure from our typical format, instead of featuring a local coffee, we're featuring Black Rifle Coffee, which is a veteran-owned coffee company that donates a certain portion of their profits to veterans' causes. We're doing this, of course, in honor of the Memorial Day weekend and those servicemen and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice for the rest of us. We've chosen today their darkest roast called Beyond Black. For those of you who've watched before, you know I like a dark roast, and that is really, really good. Super strong without being overpowering. Our question today, getting to the real estate side of this, is why do I need an appraisal when I buy a house? This question comes from Janet in McGackiesville. It kind of depends on how you're financing that house. If you're paying cash, you don't necessarily need an appraisal. That's completely up to you. But if you've been represented by a realtor and the seller's been represented by a realtor, now we have a buyer and a seller who are active in the market and two realtors who presumably know the market, and we've all come to consensus on the price. So most folks feel pretty comfortable without an appraisal in that case. If there's a lender involved, however, the lender doesn't know the people involved, and they are, in most cases, going to insist on an appraisal so that they know that the value is there in the house that's being used as collateral for the loan that they're getting ready to make. That can get a little complicated in the current times when bidding wars get the price up to be maybe where an appraisal would come in. And so then, depending on how the contract's been written, either the buyer has already agreed to make up that difference out of their own funds, or the buyer and seller sit down and try to renegotiate. Either way, in these times, it is a little bit more of a hurdle to get past than typically is the case. So all of that is to say that whether you're the buyer or the seller, the appraisal can be an important part of the real estate transaction. So be sure you talk with your realtor and get all your questions answered before you move forward. If you have a question you'd like us to answer, please submit it to questions@klinemay.com. And if your question is selected to be answered here, you'll receive a bag of the coffee we're featuring on that episode. If you'd like to see what's happening with the newest listings, please check the link in the description below, and we thank you for joining us.